How's it going, guys? So with the release of the Minecraft Feed the Beast mod pack, um, because there's a new recipe for solar panels, which makes it a lot harder. From what I've heard, the Minecraft pack is set on hard difficulty, if that makes sense. Some of the things that were perhaps easier to make in previous versions of the Feed the Beast pack have actually got a bit harder. Solar panels being really expensive to make for what they're worth. They are pretty good later on, but for what it takes to make them, it's got significantly harder. So, someone wondered, the main bit that is the trouble is just the silicone plate. The rest of the stuff needed isn't that difficult. But the stuff you need to make in order to make the silicone plate, there's a lot of steps and a lot to do. So, there's going to be a lot of people wondering how, and hopefully I can help you guys out. A couple things you're going to need first. A lot of things you're going to need first. You're going to want your basic machinery. One thing I'm going to recommend with this mod pack early on, I really recommend geothermal generators. And grab yourself a bunch of buckets, maybe some lava containers. These are made with tin, just like 1, 2, 3, tin, like that. And you should get 12 of these, I think it is. Go fill them up with lava. Buckets work fine. And just fill your geothermal generator up whenever you can. It's going to take about 16, 20 buckets to fill. Or you can just put your cans in like that, and then leave that. And then, maybe run this and just fill up a bat box or a couple, as I've got 3 here. I'm using solar panels just to speed this process up, but as soon as you get started with the mod pack, I highly recommend geothermal generators, just as a basic thing. Yeah, they're really handy. So with that said, that's going to be your main source of power, unless that's the one I'm aware of. If you guys have got a better one early off, go ahead and use that. But I'd get some MFEs built as well as a sort of early thing. You can go ahead and check that recipe up. They're not actually that difficult, for what I believe. Like 8 diamonds, I think it'll take for 2. But head down to the Twilight Forest and you find loads of them hollow hills. So maybe fill up a couple of these with some energy from the geothermal generators. Just to prepare for the blast furnace in the end, which is going to be what makes your silicon plates. Now, with that done, right, you're going to want a blast furnace and a clay oven and a blast furnace, a coke oven even, and a blast furnace. These are pretty basic to make. You can go ahead and check up the recipes. For a coke oven, you're going to want to make a 3 by 3 by 3, just leave a hollow hole in the middle. And the same pretty much with the blast furnace, you're going to want 3 by 3 by 4, and with 2 spaces in the middle, so it's hollow. And then you're going to get these. You're going to want the coke to power the blast furnace, which is going to give you the steel ingots, which are needed in order to make the reinforced machine casing, which is going to be arranged again like in a 3 by 3 by 4 next to your blast furnace. So those are 2 things you're going to need first. I hope that's clear. I don't want to go I don't want to go too quick. There are a lot of steps. Just trying to make this simple. So we've got our main source of energy, power. We've got our just basic raw materials we're going to need to start with that are maybe a bit more tricky to get, but now that you've got them going, make things run a lot smoother. Right, now here, preparation. I didn't know how to spell it, and I think it's the A one. Yeah, so these are a couple things you're going to need. You're going to want to make some iron furnaces. They're made by putting iron in the shape of a furnace, so an 8 square. Go ahead and put an advanced circuit on top of that, and 2 redstone. You're going to want 2 of these to make you some electric furnaces. You're going to want 2 electric furnaces. You're going to put them in a shape like this, with an advanced machine block. Again, that's something relatively easy to make. You can go ahead and search it up for yourself. I don't want to give you every recipe for every little thing. It's going to be a bit overwhelming. But you want 2 of them and 2 of them arranged with copper around it. That's going to give you your induction furnace. Now we're going to take these. Another thing you're going to make is these cupronical heating coils. These are made with copper arranged like that, in a sort of diamond, surrounded by either this ferrous or the nickel. You can even mix it up like that. Basically, you just put it in a rolling machine in that order. You can use the nickel where that would be. Just so long as you got the copper like that, and you're going to get these. So we can give this a bit of power. You're actually only going to need about 8 copper and maybe 8 ferrous. Because you only need 4 of these. You don't need 2 of them. You can leave. So that's done. Now, hopefully you guys have done that. If you want to pause the video at any point, go ahead and hopefully keep up. I don't want to go too fast. So now we've got our induction furnaces and our copper heating coils. Now, before we go on to the advanced, another thing. Hopefully you've got your macerator. That's a basic machine. If it's a bit difficult to make, because it does take 3 diamonds, I recommend the pulverizer, which is part of maybe the forestry. I think it's the forestry. You can actually power that with a geothermal generator by powering a couple of electrical engines. Pretend this is the pulverizer, just by powering that, because it takes MJ rather than EU. So you're going to make the pulverizer. That is going to give you... That's what's going to make your flint dust, which we're going to need to make the silicon cells, which you would have been aware of if you were in the last update of the Feed the Beast. That was how you made them in the past. But now the silicon cells have become a raw material to make the silicon plate. So, I know there's a lot of steps, but any questions, just comment and I'll try and get back to all of them. To make flint dust, you want gravel and or flint. Now, we're going to go into the macerator, and you can just macerate up some gravel. This is going to give us flint. And you'll see here, per flint we get 2 tiny piles of flint dust. And the same, just do this. That's going to give you that. Now you take your flint dust and you can craft that into an actual flint dust, like so. And then you see here we've got this. We're going to take these, we're going to take our empty cells, they're made with tin, in a 1, 2, 3, 4 area, like that. Pretend that's tin. And then another thing we're going to need is an industrial electrolyzer. Now, I've got you don't need the centrifuge, I don't know why I've got that there. Bear with me one moment. Electro. Now, I believe I've showed how that was made as well. Here it is. Yeah, there we go. So you're going to need this electrolyzer. This is made with 4 refined iron, 2 advanced circuits, an extractor, an electrolyzer, and a magnetizer in this pattern. Again, these are all basic things. Refined iron, you just cook iron ingots in a furnace. It's going to give you refined. These things are all stuff you can look up yourself. So it's an extractor, an electrolyzer, and a magnetizer, arranged like so. And this is going to give you your industrial electrolyzer, which then, if you power it with a sufficient energy source, you can use the flint dust and the empty cells, and instead it's basically an industrial centrifuge, just different. I believe it takes about 5,000 EU, possibly, to make 1 silicon cell, which is, I believe, I've moved over to here. Nope, I haven't, I deleted them. Look at it, bear with me. This is a lot to take in, but hopefully if you just follow the video, pause it, rewind, and just ask me any questions and I'll get back to you. So, once this is done, this is going to give us silicon cells, and had I already got some? Anyway, now we've got our silicon cells. This is one of the things that I recommend setting up, possibly with the same time as these, so that you can have these making, as they do take a while. As you're mining, maybe pop up, macerate some flint, make sure you got enough flint dust, and then this is going to give you silicon cell, and then the compressed air cell is like a byproduct. So that requires, I believe, 12 flint dust, 8 empty cells, possibly 4. I imagine it's 2, for 1 silicon cell. Now, we're almost there. With the silicon cells made, we can just put them to one side. We don't need them just yet. So, now we're going to want to make a couple more things. Ignore the centrifuge. That isn't there. Pretend that's not there. We're going to need to make the actual blast furnace itself. Now, with the induction furnaces, like we made before, take them, and with the cupronickel, whatever you want to call it, like that, we can make that shape there. And all we need now is 2 electronic circuits, actually going to take them two, and an advanced machine block, and we can arrange it like that. And then, in a crafting table, that's going to give us our industrial blast furnace. So what we can do is go ahead and place this here. There we go, halfway done. Now, the thing that's probably the most expensive, which is why we need the steel, is the reinforced machine casing. You're going to need 36 of these. If my math hasn't failed me, then you're going to need 19, 27, 54 steel ingots. You need 18 advanced circuits and 9 advanced machine block. Quite resource demanding, this layer, this row, but it's necessary. So, let's just make it time date. Nope. There we go. And with this, you see in the industrial blast, after you've made them, hopefully you saw the recipe. There you go. The reinforced machine casing. Now, you see it says here, incomplete machine casing. This is because you haven't got, well, the machine casing. So first row, we're going to set up a 3x3, like this. And then we're going to set up another 3x3, only we're going to leave the middle hollow. Same again. And finally, we're going to complete the top row. Remember, leave the 2 in the middle hollow. And then boom. You're done. I'm pretty sure that made 36. So look, 3x3 is 9. 9 fours are 36, minus 2. Maybe 34. 36, 34. In that sort of range. With the amount of that you made, it will make you enough. Because I believe that makes 2 or 4 per one. Per, recipe piece thing. So there we go. Heat capacity, 1700k. That, I'm pretty sure, is what the casing's for. And then, you'll see here, I've got the setup. If you've got a decent power source, which is there. Now, if we go and find the recipe for silicon plates, you can see it takes 128,000 EU. Which is a lot, which is why I suggest having the MFEs and your generators powering up before, so that you can have some silicon plates made right off the bat. You see I've got about 470,000. So, with that built up, whilst we're preparing all this, we go ahead and place our silicone in, and then 50 seconds later, we're going to get our silicone plates. We're done. That's it. That's it. Like I said, I know there's a lot, but doing it bit by bit and just building up, hopefully I've made that clear. Maybe watch this video, then do each bit. I've tried to put it in the best order I can. There's a lot of stuff to do, but by building up to it, this isn't something you're going to make right off the start. You're actually going to need a hell of a lot of materials. Copper, I've actually found to be quite rare in the Minecraft. Tin, whereas it's a lot more common, I've found now, which is strange. It was the other way around in previous updates. So, that's it. Now that we've got our silicon plates, we can finally go to the finished product, and we can make our solar panel arranged like that. So basically, all this is to replace, instead of this recipe, like in previous ones. Yeah, that's it. We're done. Like I said, I recommend geothermal energy right off the bat. Quite a good energy source. If you can get a nether portal going pretty early on, you can just go ahead and find a lava lake. It's quite a renewable source in the nether. And like I say, 20 buckets will fill that right up. And you'll be good to go. Yeah. I hope it's helped. Like I say, any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll try and get back to all of them. It's been a long video. If you stuck this far, hopefully I've kept it going and interesting, and hopefully you've learned. If that's worth a like, I don't know what is. So, yep, like I say, the 100th time, any questions, feel free to comment. Also subscribe, ask me if there's anything you need to know about Feed the Beast. From a limited knowledge, I can try and help you. If this video hadn't helped you out, I know there's a lot of other ones, or a couple other ones, on the same basis. Grumpy Gamer LP, I believe, is a good one to go to. He does a tutorial similar to this on how to do it, if his style suits you better. Other than that, hopefully now you guys have got your solar panels in your world. I am going to go into my single player world around about now and make these little bastards, expensive ones, if I have enough materials. So, hopefully you enjoy the mod pack. Feed the Beast, it's a good one. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Adios.